همیشه در یادداشت‌ها و ویدیوها از نقش اقتصاد در سیاست و حوزه اقتصاد سیاسی یاد کردم و با اطمینان هیچ سیاستمداری بدون نگاه به فعالان اقتصادی راه به جایی نخواهد برد. نقش پررنگ اقتصاد بین الملل در اقتصاد سیاسی هم بر کسی پوشیده نیست. نقش انتخابات آمریکا در اقتصاد بین الملل به خصوص ایران بسیار پررنگ است. از سال 57 و انقلاب اسلامی یا حتی قبلتر از آن رئیس جمهور آمریکا و رویکرد او به ایران و خاورمیانه بر اقتصاد ایران تاثیرگذار بوده است. کارتر که با قماری که درباره ایران 57 کرد ریاست جمهوری را واگذار کرد. ریگان جمهوری خواه که آزادی گروگان‌های سفارت آمریکا را با یک معامله برد در کارنامه خود ثبت کرد. تحریم‌های بوش پسر تا مذاکرات برجام در دوران اوباما نام دولت ایران و آمریکا را گهگاه در صدر خبرهای دنیا قرار می‌دهد. آبان امسال دوئل ترامپ که قبلا با رویکرد پوپولیستی زحمت دیپلمات‌های ایرانی و 5 کشور دیگر را پوچ کرد با خانم کامالا هریس قطب نمای اقتصاد سیاسی ایران را بعد از انتخابات تکان خواهد داد. نقش پول و حمایت لابی‌های کسب و کار بر انتخابات آمریکا پررنگ است و معمولاً فردی که با بانک‌های آمریکا و کارآفرینان آن بیشتر همراهی می‌کند وزنه انتخابش را پررنگ‌تر و بارزتر می‌کند. 3 مناظره تلویزیونی 2 کاندیدا را همیشه در جذب میزان رأی‌های خاکستری همراهی می‌کند. اولین مناظره هفته گذشته انجام شد و منتخب آن در ادامه آپلود می‌شود. اگر از گردش در پیج حاشیه‌های سلبریتی‌ها یا مصاحبه‌های خنک با کارشناسان همه چیزدان خسته شدین، تنها 5 دقیقه آقای ترامپ را تماشا کنید. به نظرم شاید لبخند به لبانتان بیاورد. البته اگر رئیس جمهور شد این لبخند را شاید مانند جوکر باید به زور تا پایان 4 سال در چهره‌تان حک کنید. با سپاس، دومان، شهریور 403.
Good evening. We are looking forward to a spirited and thoughtful debate.
So let's get started.
Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy, and the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America.
She doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences, like run, spot, run. 4 sentences that are just, oh, we'll try and lower taxes. She doesn't have a plan. Take a look at her plan. She doesn't have a plan.
Mr. President, you recently said of Vice President Harris, quote, "I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black." I want to ask a bigger picture question here tonight. Why do you believe it's appropriate to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent?
I don't, and I don't care. I don't care what she is. I don't care. You make a big deal out of something. I couldn't care less. Whatever she wants to be is okay with me.
But those were your words, so I'm asking...
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I read where she was not black, that she put out, and I'll say that. And then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her. That's up to her.
Vice President Harris, your thoughts on this?
I think it's, I mean, honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people.
President Trump, how would you negotiate with Netanyahu and also Hamas in order to get the hostages out and prevent the killing of more innocent civilians in Gaza?
If I were president, it would have never started. If I were president, Russia would have never, ever, I know Putin very well, he would have never, and there was no threat of it either, by the way, for 4 years, have gone into Ukraine and killed millions of people when you add it up, far worse than people understand what's going on over there. But when she mentions about Israel, all of a sudden, She hates Israel. She wouldn't even meet with Netanyahu when he went to Congress to make a very important speech. She refused to be there because she was at a sorority party of hers.
Vice President Harris, he says you hate Israel.
That's absolutely not true. I have my entire career and life supported Israel and the Israeli people. He knows that. He's trying to, again, divide and distract from the reality, which is it is very well known that Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy.
Do you believe it's in the U.S. best interests for Ukraine to win this war, yes or no?
I think it's the U.S. best interest to get this war finished and just get it done.
All right.
Negotiate a deal, because we have to stop all of these human lives from being destroyed.
As commander-in-chief, if elected, how would you deal with Vladimir Putin, and would it be any different from what we're seeing from President Biden?
Well, first of all, it's important to remind the former president you're not running against Joe Biden, you're running against me. I believe the reason that Donald Trump says that this war would be over within 24 hours is because he would just give it up.
This past June, President Biden imposed tough new asylum restrictions. We know the numbers since then have dropped significantly. But my question to you tonight is, why did the administration wait until 6 months before the election to act? And would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. And let me say that the United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill which I supported. And that bill would have put 1,500 more border agents on the border to help those folks who are working there right now overtime, trying to do their job.
You say you would use the National Guard. You say if things get out of control, you'd have no problem using the U.S. military.
Police, yes.
You also said you would use local police. How would you deport 11 million undocumented immigrants? I know you believe that number is much higher. Take us through this. What does this look like? Will authorities be going door to door in this country?
Yeah, it is much higher. Because of them. They allowed criminals, many, many millions of criminals. They allowed terrorists. They allowed common street criminals. They allowed people to come in, drug dealers, to come into our country. And then now in the United